Welcome back to Pit Stop Ranch and our ongoing series of about SEMA and our experiences at the big show in Las Vegas. This is the final special episode and one I've been most looking forward to sharing with you. We had a chance to catch up with Jimbo Piper, amateur, nearly pro racer in one of the score race series called Jeep Speed, and he took a generous portion of his time at the show to talk to us about his truck and his experience racing and the community with which come together to help him make it happen. I hope you really enjoy this episode as much as I did hanging out with Jimbo, and enjoy. Okay, a little background. SCORE, which is Southern California Off-Road Racing Enthusiasts, is an organization that's been around for many years. They're the organizers of the famous Baja 1000, the Baja 500. And these first vehicles I'm showing here are what you typically think of when we talk SCORE. Professional grade or semi-professional grade racers. However, they got a lot of other classes. For example, Baja Bug got its name because it competes in the Baja 1000 as its own class, and it is meant as a low-cost way for amateurs to get involved in actually professional level racing. It still remains a very popular class. And if you watch any of the footage of it, you see them. Now, other series that they do include Jeep Speed, and here are a couple examples of Jeep Speed competitors that are, and Jeep Speed is specifically meant to be a relatively low-cost alternative to desert racing, giving people the opportunity to get involved and race that isn't quite as expensive as building a full-on desert race truck, tube frame up. You start with actual production and go up from there. They have Toyota classes too, amateur level Toyota classes, as well as a car class, which is in the car class as well as a side-by-side class. I believe this is actually a side-by-side here. And the idea is they have the unlimited classes to do crazy stuff, and then you got the more budget-friendly classes. Now, this here is an example. This here is literally one of the earliest SCORE race vehicles and inspiration for the modern SCORE truck. This Ford Bronco here was converted to two-wheel drive because at the time to get the suspension and everything working, doing four-wheel drive was quite difficult. Here is the original Manx Myers dune buggy, which again is built on the VW platform and inspired a whole subgenre of off-road vehicles.
So you're actually Jimbo?
Yes, I am.
Oh, well, nice to meet you. Oh,
would you mind being on my YouTube channel real quick?
Not at all, man. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. So this beautiful beast is yours.
It is.
And how long have you been racing?
I've been involved with this truck in desert racing for between 25 and 30 years now. It belonged to my good friend Dudley Tranneman.
Okay.
And when cancer got him, we just kept racing it. Yeah.
Our condolences on your friend.
Oh, well, thanks.
No
yeah, it was a rough deal, but we just tried. He lives on in the truck.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, awesome. So
we've actually seen this truck before. And we were going to race Jeep Speed. We were trying to get in with the Jeep Liberty diesel.
Okay.
They actually modified the rules so that we could get in, but I ended up flipping the Liberty and not being able to complete it for the series.
I hear you.
Yeah.
What event were you getting ready for?
We were going to do. We were going to try to run the Jeep Speed Best of the Desert, the whole series.
The whole series. Yeah.
And we weren't planning on winning any races.
we figured 80% showing up.
Yes.
I hear you. Yeah.
So with the gas mileage on the diesel being so good, we were planning on building points in the series and seeing how we compete.
I tell you what, cruising by a pit stop gains time.
It does,
sure
yeah.
does.
It's one in the pits, or if you can bypass the pits.
Oh boy, and there's nothing makes you go brain squirrel, like sitting there
Yeah.
while guys are going by. In Parker, we had a unique experience. We're going along, and I was racing that other honcho of Rob White, and that thing's fast.
Yeah.
Wasn't even in his dust anymore. And I'm telling my buddy, I go, man, they're done. They're showered done. Well, when we got to the main pit, they were having a fuel take-on issue, and they were looking for something to get the valve to go down. And I thought, oh, this now. And no, it took just as long for us to take on fuel, and by that time I realized that nature was calling. So driving through the pits, big deal. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
So, but it's been a lot of fun, and I'll admit it eats every bit of overtime I got. I'm a privateer, and it's all I can do to get to the races. But
Yeah.
But we just went through everything. It's got a brand new motor and tranny. We just did the first oil change on it. Did some rear spring work, and we're real excited. Hopefully we're either going to do this next Legacy one out in Pahrump, or maybe Fallon in March. That's my hometown, so it'd be fun to.
All right.
Oh, you're from. Oh,
very cool.
What engine you got in it currently?
It's a 401.
All right, AMC 401.
Yeah, an AMC 401. And
nice.
Man, going through one of those was a whole eye-opening experience.
I bet
it wasn't the old Ford 390 I went through in high school. It cost me $1,000. This was. The machinist kept calling, going, well, you need this. That is me, yeah. Thank you. Hey, the machinist, I'm working away, and the machinist would call in the middle of the day and go, you need this, and you need this, and I just go, yeah, get it. When I went to pay the bill, I thought, oh, should have listened a little harder to this guy. But I'm glad that I stayed. So many people, I've gotten so many backup over keeping the Jeep motor. You know, I was maybe I didn't want to. I was thinking LS, but we're trying to keep. I thought, man, that Dud would have wanted the Jeep motor, so we stayed with. He was so proud of that 401. So
that's.
Well, if you're running in the Jeep speed category, don't you have to stay with the Jeep motor?
Now Rob's got a LS and a 6-speed, so I think they'll either talk to someone or they're allowing that. But if that is a rule, one thing they did like Jeep Speed, one thing Clive really liked, and I didn't know this. He said to come to Jeep Speed 3. Said he'd let the wheels through. So I showed him. And when they got the tape measure out, I went, oh shit, I didn't read none of that.
Yeah.
And when they started going around the truck, I was well within their parameters. I mean, ridiculously in. And they were so happy with me over that. Yeah. They thought I was a real class act over that, and I wasn't.
It wasn't deliberate. It was just like.
Yeah. So I remember them looking at some other things on some of the other trucks, going, hey man, next time change this, and you can't be doing this. When I went through there, they went, hell man, this is shaking my hand, and it's great. So we had a real good time. We took second in Parker. We had the transmission dipstick, the bracket up top that holds it all fell out. We lost a lot of transmission fluid, which was all over parts of the truck we didn't know at the time. So we're in this mist of tranny fluid waiting to explode. Yeah. And when we finally figured out what was up and got it,
the dipstick.
Yeah, and luckily it fell in the header. So we got it back in, and we got a second. We were real proud of that.
Nice.
But it is. I don't realize I spent all this time trying to keep this thing alive and get it to the races, and it always seems when I'm at the green flag, I think, damn it, man, you're in a desert race. You're in a desert race. I'm glad I have this to do with my time and not something else. Who knows what kind of trouble I get in.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. A week ago, I was interviewing some lowriders, and kind of the same exact statement. They're like, "Is that a trunk or treat event?" And all these really awesome guys just hanging out. And they're like, "Yeah, man, we're showing our kids there's stuff to do other than getting in trouble."
Sure. Yeah.
And
Sure. Yeah, it's been a real hoot. Every time I fire the thing, it's just so many memories. I've watched the truck. It never bothered me to see him throw this thing to the wind or wad it up. It never bothered me, but I am scared to death to do it. So I drive it with a lot of reserve. If I could find a good line on some rear fenders, I might throw it into corners a little harder. But it's,
well, you can always. Are those steel?
No, it's aluminum on fiberglass on aluminum.
Oh, okay.
These were stock fenders. They still had the pocket for the stake beds and stuff.
Right.
So we got these off, and then the backs were long ago wadded up. So
the beds.
Friend Don German years ago bent these up for good. This was always his plan.
Right.
And it took me template after template after template to get it where I wanted. But
right.
I didn't think I was going to be able to. It's still a little wonky, but it's good enough for the girls I go with.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, no, I think it looks really good. I was just thinking that, you know, you could make a mold of this.
We were thinking that.
And then just make up, and then like set these aside to retire them.
Sure.
Make a mold of them, and then just knock out like have like 3 or 4 on the shelf.
We were kicking that around. I'm real good friends with Dennis over there, and he's got the same issue. He doesn't want to use a fender either, so we've been kind of in cahoots. That's
a really good idea if you could do that. And honestly, if you did that, you could then also get a hold of someone who sells stuff like this. And just market it through them as something. You know, if someone has a truck like this, or they want to build a truck like this, because it isn't like, I mean, these are really cool trucks. There's a lot of popularity for them, a lot of the underground popularity for them, but there isn't a lot of aftermarket for it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And then maybe you could supplement, and it's one more thing to do besides racing and working and everything else.
I need another thing. What's funny, what I do like about the truck, what I've always liked is it's kind of unisex in the term that Ford guys, Chevy guys, everyone kind of likes them.
Yes. That's the great thing about Jeep, because you know, some guys are Ford guys, some guys are Dodge guys, but everyone's a Jeep guy.
Right. I get. But I've heard what I hear a lot is people who look at it. I call it the dad look. Somebody's dad had one of these.
Yeah.
And you see it on their face.
Yeah.
You see it. Someone who likes desert racing, and then maybe their grandbrother, old man, had one of these out back. And you can just see it on their face and go, "Oh man, that's I love the thing." And that's what. That's to me that gives it lines.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That's one of the things I really love about it. I have friends go, "Man, sell that thing, get something faster," and this is fast enough for me. Hell, I'm getting too old for it anyway. Yeah, definitely.
Fast is how you feel. It's not how.
That's right. Yeah. It'll scare the shit out of me. It has.
Yeah. We've come to terms with the fact that no one's going to come and give us a seat. We're past that in age, so it's at this point here, it's just like we just build shit and play with it.
Oh, I don't know. Would you be interested sometime?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
You get out, man. Get out here. Get out here sometime, and we can get you in the right seat. If not for a race, at least for some fun.
Yeah. Totally.
It is a lot of fun. I got another friend that is real into drones and cameras and stuff, and he wants to wire it up everywhere with little cameras, and I'm all about that. Let's try that out. So
absolutely.
we just got it. I mean, we just got the motor, the oil change in the motor and everything just for the show. So after the show, I'm going to knock the fenders off and do some more playing with it and some dial-ins. So when March gets here, we're ready to go. So I'm gonna be goofing with it. So
fantastic. What's a good way to get a hold of you?
Man, Facebook's perfect. I'm Jimbo Piper, and there's a picture. I got my helmet on in my profile. You'll know it's me. Just scroll through. This is about all that winds up on it anyway.
Anything else is a waste on Facebook.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I'm sure all my friends think, man, get some kids.
You got one.
Yeah, that's what I try to tell them.
You got one.
That's what I try to tell them. It loves me back. It does.
Yeah, it's my children consist of the fleet of rusty buckets and my German Shepherd.
Hey, the school's never going to call you telling you one of those broke the window.
Exactly.
You're never going to have to put one of those through any specific kind of long-term rehab.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than what you want to.
I was going to say, they all need rehab, but it consists of cutting out the rust and welding a new sheet metal.
Yeah.
That's the rehab they need, not because of any sort of controlled.
Well, I've learned at times through this thing to live like a crackhead, cheap meals and learning to stretch things just to get parts. But we're hopefully, and I know in racing it's never true, but we're kind of hopefully to a plateau point now. My buddy that helps me with it and helps me prep it, lets me kind of stash it at his place. He sees something in it. Oh, you're gonna need this. You're gonna need that. He can spend my money pretty quick.
Hey, does that sound familiar to you?
Sounds very familiar to me.
Things we've been getting by for years, and I'll explain that. Man, we've been 25. Yeah, but you're gonna need this and you're gonna need that. So every paycheck, it's something. Something. We call it the VIG. What's the VIG this month?
Yeah.
So that's. But I took that on it's funny, when I went and picked it up the first time, I go, okay, do not let this thing consume you. If you just have it, it sits in the backyard and rests to the ground, fine. Man, it wasn't.
That can't happen.
It wasn't 3 days. I'm out there, and the hardest part, since it was my friend's, the hardest part was it had some glass Chevy sides on it that just didn't look right. They kind of hacked some on for a race, or to have it in a tech or something right after he passed, or I forget what they were doing, but the bed sides, they didn't look right. And when I taking them off was just loose fasteners, but when I went to cut the mounts, that grinder hit the metal, and I'd stop and I'd look at the truck and I'd think about it. Finally, it took me about 20 minutes, but when I finally heard the first mount hit the floor, from then on, everything was just easy. I just kept going through it, cutting everything off that wasn't supposed to be there. So, and blue wasn't my first choice. Dud always, he liked the blue that you see on tarps.
Yeah.
He really liked that blue.
Okay.
So we call it tarp blue. I don't know what the hell the number is. Yeah.
It's tarp blue.
Yeah. Tarp blue works.
Yeah,
that
I
works.
looked through the book, I went, we'll take that. So the guy mixed it up and we shot it. I bought that and some white and some clear coat. None of it made it on there. Just the blue. And I thought, hell, we'll throw some stickers on it.
That sounds familiar too.
Yeah, it sounds real familiar.
I had no inkling that I would be at the SEMA show someday. I'm walking through here going, man, I do not belong. I do not belong.
You belong just fine.
Yeah, no,
This is real stuff. Everything else is just for show.
Well, yeah, all this other shiny shit, it's kind of interesting, but seeing this is actually like, oh fuck, man, this is real. This is real racing.
We walked up to this, I said, this has actually been raced.
Yeah,
this is a real truck, right?
That's what I love about it. Now I look at like that Herbst truck, and trust me, if I had the coin,
yeah, 100%.
I wouldn't even.
You'd have to own a chain of gas stations.
Well, yeah, and then if I did, I'd be doing the same exact, nothing different.
Yeah.
After all of it, I'd be doing all of it exactly the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. But we're lucky enough that I got some guys that'll come out for beer, so I'll take that. They're hardcore. Everyone that helps me is hardcore, and they'll wait out there because sometimes it takes us a while to get to them, and they'll wait. They'll wait all day and all night. So I'm really blessed that way.
Yeah.
It's proud to
Well, we really appreciate it because it's an example to us. This is real racing. This is what
we aspire to.
Yeah, this is what we aspire to.
Thank you so much for your interest. What's the YouTube channel? I love YouTube.
Pit Stop Ranch.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you, Jimbo. Thank you very much for your time, because this is huge.
Oh, it's big for me. Yeah.
Well, you're one of we're all like one tribe.
I think so too.
Yeah, we're one tribe, and being able to connect and connect that, and this is inspiring. This is inspiring for the viewers. This is inspiring for us.
That makes my week, man. Thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing and your time. Well, there you go. I hope you learned some stuff. Jimbo and all the guys and gals who run Score in the Jeep Speed Series. Hats off to you for putting together a really cool program. Go ahead and go over to their website and check them out, and hopefully you can be inspired to know that, a person that holds a 9-to-5 job, 40-hour-a-week job, can go out and be competitive at a program that is challenging but achievable. And hopefully, even if racing in the southwestern desert is geographically difficult for you, there are a lot of programs for amateur and aspiring semi-pro racers out there that anyone can participate in, and you should look in your area and go out there and hit the track. And as always, we are professionals, but not at this. And that is okay. In fact, it's more than okay. It's great, because that's most of us, and if it wasn't for us out there doing this stuff, it wouldn't get done. So, as always, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share with your friends and family of all the ongoings here at the Pit Stop Ranch, and I look forward to seeing you again. And once again, we'll be going back to our normal posting schedule of Mondays and Fridays. I hope you enjoyed this little series on SEMA and all the interesting things that we experienced there and were able to share with you. And until next time, keep on playing with that old junk.